Today you've joined hundreds of established and emerging writers who are discovering ways to reach their writing goals and have fun by being more curious, creative, and productive. You're listening to Ann Croker, Writing Coach. This is episode 164, Writing Fears and How to Overcome Them. Fear of Rejection. Over the past week, I followed several women on Instagram as they traveled to London for a literary-themed trip. One woman on the trip, Bree McCoy, posted a photo of a letter preserved under glass at St. John's College Library. The letter, written by Jane Austen's father, was sent to a publisher describing a book about the same length as a popular novel of the time, and he wondered if they might be interested in taking a look at it. The publisher rejected the book, sight unseen, with the short reply, declined by return of post. Here's what Bree wrote in her Instagram caption. Everybody listen up! What you are looking at is a rejection for Jane Austen's book, Pride and Prejudice. Her dad sent a letter to a publishing house not only asking them to publish her manuscript, but also telling them he would pay for everything. Still, they rejected it. They rejected it by sending his letter back to him. Can we sit with this for a moment? Someone rejected P and P. Now, we know of many stories like this. Lithub pulled together a list of books initially rejected by publishers. It includes Madeleine A Wrinkle in Time, with 26 rejections from publishers. Kathryn Stockett's The Help endured 60 rejections from agents. The website Bookster pulled together a list of 10 books rejected multiple times, including Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which was rejected 12 times, William Golding's Lord of the Flies, rejected 20 times, and Carrie by Stephen King, rejected 28 times. In that Instagram update, Bree pointed out how easy it is for us to have the luxury of knowing the whole story. Listen, she writes, we know how that story ends. But what if we don't know how the refusals handed to us end? What if we are sitting in our own unknown? Websites like Bookster don't pull together a top 10 list of writers who got rejection letters who are still unpublished. There's no triumph there. There's just the rejection. They're sitting in their own unknown. So we don't tell their stories. We don't find inspiration there. St. John's College Library doesn't preserve under glass a rejection letter for a book that's still sitting on someone's hard drive, only read by a few beta readers and the writer's mom. That rejection letter is under glass because the book was rejected and then was published and became the much-loved novel Pride and Prejudice. Stephen King's book Carrie made the list because it was rejected 28 times and then it was picked up by a publisher and became a blockbuster commercial success and was made into a movie. Same with The Help. It was rejected and then... Well, many of us haven't reached the and then. We know the end of those other stories, but we don't know the end of ours. Worse, if we get the rejection, it really feels like end of story. That's why we're afraid. And I'm here to say it is not the end. Bree encourages her readers to take heart. Rejection is not an executioner, she says. Rejection is a guide. And then she goes through several possibilities, like this rejection could guide us to keep going or to pause, to take a slight left turn, even though we were certain we were to go right. The idea could be too big or too small. Then she says, remember, you are living out a full story, not a highlight reel. Let rejection inform you, not destroy you. I join Bree in saying, take heart. Take heart, because a rejection is not the end. It's not. So don't let the fear of rejection keep you from doing the work. You may be afraid of a formal rejection by a magazine, an agent, a book publisher, where you submit your project. That fear may be holding you back from even sending it. Don't let it. Don't be afraid to try. Query the agent. If they ask to see the manuscript, submit your work. Sign up for Submittable and send off your essays and short stories. See where it goes. They may say yes. They may say no. Well, don't let an actual rejection stop you from trying again. If they say no, if they reject it, let that inform you, not destroy you. This is not the end. This is simply information. Look at your piece again. See if you need to rework anything. Consult with people who can advise you. Then send it out again. Now, I'm not saying a rejection is not going to hurt or stir some doubt about the project. Isaac Asimov expresses the pain that a rejection delivers this way. He says, rejection slips or form letters, however tactfully phrased, are lacerations of the soul, if not quite inventions of the devil, but there is no way around them. When we make our top 10 lists of writers whose work was rejected, we don't always know how the writer felt. Now, Asimov revealed how he felt, but we don't know how Jane Austen felt. We do know, though, she continued to write. We know she wrote and managed to submit her work to a publisher again, too, despite having a project rejected. She found a publisher for Sense and Sensibility, and then Pride and Prejudice, and later Mansfield Park and Emma. Now, we don't know how Jane felt or what it taught her, but we know she soldiered on. She wrote. She sent off her work. And so did J.K. Rowling, so did Stephen King, so did Madeleine L'Engle, so did William Golding. Even if you fear a more personal and emotional rejection by a classmate in a creative writing course, a member of your writing group, a friend, or a family member that you let take a peek at your work, let any negative response or harsh words that feel like rejections simply guide you and inform you, not destroy you. Now, those lacerations of the soul may need a little TLC. In fact, you'll benefit from some kind of rejection ritual to soothe you in the aftermath and get you through the day or the week. To deal especially with those professional rejections, well, I offer some ideas in episode 100, Submissions, How to Bounce Back After an Editor Turns You Down. You might want to take a look in case one of those ideas feels right for you. Get through that process and then get back to writing. Overcome your fear of rejection by actually writing. Keep writing. Keep learning. Keep sending your best work off to places where you think it's going to be a good fit. One of the most active ways to overcome fear of rejection is to write a lot, because you'll become a better writer. And as you become a better writer, you'll have more and better projects to submit. If you keep submitting more work, you will risk getting more rejections. But remember what Babe Ruth once said, "Every strike brings me closer to the next home run." Now, this man was known as the king of home runs. To achieve his record-setting 714 career home runs, he had to endure 1,330 strikeouts. Now, he trained, he practiced, he improved his swing, so it wasn't sheer luck or a numbers game. Skill was involved, and I suppose analysis of the pitcher's technique. The author of the article describing Babe Ruth's groundbreaking approach to batting says this wasn't how the game was played before he came along. A batter, I guess, was supposed to get a piece of the ball and maybe sacrifice himself so someone else could get a steal, but Babe was aiming for success. To get there, he had to reframe failure. It wasn't really failure at all. He saw it as a momentary setback. Rejection is not failure. If you are aiming for success, a rejection is a momentary setback. I repeat, a rejection is a momentary setback as you aim for success. So don't play it safe out of a fear of rejection. Don't let that fear keep you from writing and sending out your work. Step up to the plate and swing the bat. Sure, you might strike out. And then again, you might get a home run. I'm Ann Croker, cheering you on as a writing coach in your ear. Everywhere we may meet, at my websites on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in your inbox, here on this podcast, over at Patreon, or even in person. I'm always looking for ideas to share with you that will help you achieve your writing goals and have fun by being more curious, creative, and productive. Thank you for listening.